I seriously just caught my first trout, and it took me a second to get the hook out of his mouth, so I felt bad because I wasn't going to keep him. He was little, so I was just trying to give him a little, bit of water, and he got out of my hands. So caught my first trout, and I didn't even get to take a picture with him. So I'm gonna do one more and see if I can get a picture with one this time. Yay! Yeah. Well, I just came upon this lake on the side trail. I think I have like 0.7 left until I hit the PCT again, and then like 1.5 miles to where I'm trying to camp tonight, which is just right at the base of Glen Pass, so I can hit it early in the morning. I have planned to make it all the way to Vermilion Valley Resort, also known as VVR, which I'm estimating is going to take hopefully 7 days because that's how much food I have. It's like 97 miles including the side trail. But the thing is, you're limited on how far you can go each day because you don't want to go up over a mountain pass after the heat of the day because the snow becomes very slushy and it gets very dangerous. So you really camp at the base of the passes that you intend to go over the next day, kind of like all of us did on Forester Pass. So otherwise we would not have been able to walk straight up Forester Pass, like Spider-Man style. So yeah, but before this gets too slushy that I'm standing on, I'm gonna keep going. Knowing the conditions of the Sierras and stressing out about making it to Canada on time because of being slowed down in the snow and the conditions. But I have to say, even despite all of that and how dangerous it is out here and everything, it's like whenever I get back on the trail and I huff and puff for a few hours and then I look around, I'm like, feels like going home. Like it feels like home, and looking around at these snow-covered mountains, it just feels right to be back in them. So no regrets as far as not flip-flopping or anything like that. It just feels good to continue my trek northbound, and as long as I feel like it's pretty safe to do so, then that's what I'm gonna do. I cowboy camped about a mile from the top of Glen Pass, and that's where I'm heading this morning. I camped last night with a fella from Australia. His name is Martin, and so luckily we'll be going over this pass together. So it's nice to have somebody to go over with. I guess I don't know, it's comforting to know that somebody will know you fell if you fell, or just to see what they do, or to talk about like what the best way to go is. It's just two minds are better than one. Pretty lake you walk next to. It's so cool to see these like ice covered and so blue. And there's a path leading to the top of Glen Pass. That's what I'm following right now. And now we're straight up. Oh, it's pretty steep right here, but luckily the snow is hard because it's morning. Wow, I just walked down that. Whew. Well, we got over the pass, and Martin asked me how I would feel if he turned around and went on back to town. And of course, I'm like, dude, if you don't want to be doing this, like, it's not, I think that he's like scared. I think it's just not as enjoyable as he would like it to be. We'd like the snow to be gone and be able to go swimming and stuff. But he was like, will you be okay? And I was like, absolutely. But wow, props to you for, doing the pass again and Kearsarge again. But anyway, I guess he's decided to flip-flop. He was hoping there would be less snow in the valley. I was really hoping so too, but I don't know if it's stupidity or pride or just enjoyment of the challenge, but I'm gonna keep pressing on, hoping that somebody will join me at the bottom of the next pass, or maybe I'll find a reroute and Airborne. I'm not sure if I think they went ahead and did the pass yesterday afternoon, but so maybe I'll catch them. But Anyway, here I go again on my own. And this is tough. Rock scrambling. Getting next to rocks that you post hole next to. Glissades that head straight towards rocks. It's gonna be a long day. Well, from what I can tell, I have to cross this water and go over there. I think this is normally not necessarily full like this. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty cold and kind of sucks. And I've got another lake outlet crossing. Good Lord, I don't see how the trout live in this water. It's so cold. Situations like this make things take longer. We gotta walk on the side of this snowy bank here and around because this goes straight down and we got a rock slide here. I mean, I could squeeze between these two, but I don't think that's a good idea. So, time for micro spikes and ice axe. Ooh, I just crossed this one. That's only half of it. It's split into two, and not gonna lie, it's the scariest one I've done so far. Cool bridge. It says one person at a time on bridge. Look at that. Oh, Lord, that's coming up. Look! Mile 800. Oh my God. Right over there is the trail. And right here is the trail. Oh. Woo, my legs are shaking. I was saying that the water didn't freak me out that bad, but it's starting to a little bit. And the passes were the scary part, but now I don't know. Check out this one too. I mean, there's just so much water all over the trail. Well, I just got to White Fork, and I tried to go like halfway across, and it was just too rough. I had to turn back, but I'm going upstream to try to see if there's, you know, a better place to cross. I know there's not one downstream, and if not, I'll just have to camp on this side for the night, and hopefully in the morning, you know, it'll be down, so, which it probably will. Well, now that I've had a minute to calm down after setting my tent up, but anyway, I made a very stupid decision to try to cross that creek, and I knew it was when I did it, so this is a pretty good wake-up call for me. I got halfway across, and could feel my legs kind of starting to give, and as I looked across, the flow was even stronger on the second half of the crossing. So I knew if I went forward that I probably wouldn't make it across. So I turned around and luckily was strong enough to hold my legs, you know, until I could get hold of like some brush and kind of pull myself up to shore. So I'm an idiot for a couple reasons, because, well, I should have just looked at it and gone, you know what, it can wait till morning, I'll just camp right before it, which is what I did now, anyway. And, you know, I told my mom that I wouldn't do anything sketch alone. So, sorry Mom, but anyway, so, I mean, if I'm gonna do the Sierras, I know that they're risky, and like I want to go straight through, I want to keep going north, even still, but I've got to do it smart, and you know, it's like I'm in this huge rush to hurry up and get through the Sierras because I know that going slower is killing my chances of finishing my through hike, because eventually it's going to snow in Washington and it's going to be too late to go through. So if I'm going to do the Sierras and stick to Novo through hike or Novo hike, then I've got to at least be smart about it. You know, I can always flip up if I have to, if it's taking too long. But why risk my life? So the main thing that I can do is just wait here. And if this means that I don't get to go over the next pass tomorrow, then so be it. I've heard that the pass isn't that bad. You know, maybe I can get there early afternoon and it won't be too slushy. But again, just gonna do the smart thing and wait. This group of 4 fellas just rolled up and they were like, it doesn't look that deep, and you know, they're also contemplating what to do, but I think even they're gonna camp on this side and wait till the flow goes down in the morning. We totally whooped it. I am so thankful that they showed up. They all have their unique personalities for sure. So Rooster got his trail name because he wakes everybody up in the morning, especially one of the other guys, Butters. He is very chill and kind of like the glue that holds the group together. And then Dan, Lord have mercy, Lieutenant Dan is just wide open. He always walks around blasting his like 80s rock music, and it really does fit his personality. And next in the group is Mark. So Mark is the oldest of the group, and he is so cool, his accent. He's from Australia. He's definitely the quietest of the group, but when he has something to say, it's usually pretty on point. And last but not least is Butters. So I would explain Butters as kind of like the class clown. Like, he's good-hearted and always making everyone laugh at the same time, you know. And that's pretty much the guys. They have been awesome and really just more than I could have asked for. So while this is certainly not my favorite time of day to do a pass because it's about noon, this one hasn't been bad so far. But because of the creek, I'm definitely behind schedule. So, but I think this one is safe even in slushy snow, which is good. More time is spent looking for the trail than actually walking on it. Now we are literally bushwhacking to try to find a better place to cross this small stream. We've been walking for about 12 hours now, including breaks. Pretty tired. I just want to get as close to Mather's Pass as possible so that we don't have to go over the top of it in the slushy snow tomorrow. So my shoes are frozen solid. These sun cuffs are really hard to walk on. You gotta put your foot in just the right spot to where you don't slide down in it. And if you don't, your foot slides and goes down one of these holes and you twist your ankle and it just doesn't feel good. Now we're heading up the uphill to Mather Pass, which I've heard is the sketchiest one to go over. I wish it was a little bit earlier. Snow's starting to get a little slushy, but maybe we'll make it up there before it gets too bad. Here we go. Holy smokes. We are going right in that saddle area. Mather Pass. We got to the first part of the pass. Here comes Butters. Even though it looks like we should be freezing cold, it's burning up. Holy smokes. We made it. Here we go down the other side. Came from up there, where Mark is.
Hey.
How was it?
How was what? Going over Method Pass?
Yes.
Pretty sketchy.
Yeah, I think that's the scariest one it is the scariest one I've done so far.
Most definitely.
I am so glad to have that pass done. When the snow path hits rocks, it gets bad because you can post hole near the rocks, and just going from one surface to the other with spikes on. You know, it's good in the snow, but then when you put your spikes on rock, it feels a little more slick. So there was one part where I had to cross like a big boulder on like a little bitty crack, and it went straight down the mountain, you know, basically fall to your death spot. And luckily Butters hung back and ended up, I was like, I'm gonna need you to come a little bit closer and give me your hand. And he had to kind of like pull me over the rock, you know, as I kind of inched my way and pushed off. That was definitely the most sketchy pass I've done, and just shows why it's really important to have a group. So I'm really glad that I ran into these guys, because they make a great team and kind of practice the leave no man behind things. So very important for this section for sure.
Oh, lizard.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually exciting. I can't wait to see a rattlesnake again. So the Sierras so far have been amazingly beautiful. You know, you can almost compare it to like the beauty of like a venomous snake or a poisonous frog, and the way that it's so beautiful, you know, and you wanna touch it and hold it, and if you don't handle it right, it'll get you. It's kind of the best way that I can describe the Sierras. You know, it's like, yeah, enjoy it, but use caution.